In the interview, Meghan talked about the Balham donkey sanctuary. What does that tell us about Meghan's character?
Meghan talked about her love of animals, love of dogs, love of the donkey sanctuary.
In the interview, the nicest thing about Meghan was that she, you know...
Pascal. Two comedians pranked a whole bunch of journalists, all right? Commentators and all that. Like, they are called royal experts. This video is freaking hilarious. We need to take a look at this. Let's take a look.
The following video was filmed on the 5th of March 2021, 2 days before Harry and Meghan's interview was seen by anyone.
2 days. 2 days before. Okay, this whole thing was filmed 2 days before anyone saw a stitch of interview. Okay? Of said interview that we just saw. Okay, I just want to make that abundantly clear. Check this out. This is crazy.
In the interview, from start to finish, Meghan was acting.
The world is waiting on the biggest interview of the year.
Were you silent or were you silent?
It's hilarious.
Harry and Meghan with Oprah. Everyone has an opinion.
A bit of a gold digger.
It's very sad that the relationship with his brother has changed.
I don't think their marriage will last.
But no one has actually seen what Harry and Meghan have to say.
Just so you said, just so you know, I just said it. They don't. Nobody know nothing. No one knows nothing. Okay. These guys are genius because this is exposing a lot of stuff, y'all. Some truth here. Take a look.
Instead, the airwaves are full of royal experts influencing public opinion by giving their views into the soap opera of the decade.
You just think, could there be a more inappropriate time for all this to be blasting out in public?
I really can't stand Piers Morgan or whatever his name is. I just can't. I can't stand him. The stuff that he says and the stuff that he's all apart and all that, it's really annoying. But let's continue.
But do these experts actually know what they're talking about?
It is certain, of course. I'm so sorry. Let me just once again hand back to you, Ben.
Would these paid commentators give a review of an interview they've not yet seen? To put this to the test, Archie and I set up a production company, Beneath the Fold Limited, to invite 4 royal experts onto a fake TV show to give their reaction to Harry and Meghan's interview 3 days before they had even seen it.
3 days before they even seen one stitch of the interview.
We found some royal experts and used our very own royal expert to gauge their interest.
Brilliant.
A special for a UK broadcaster to be broadcast immediately after the interview that Harry and Meghan have given to CBS.
Man, I love that accent.
And we're looking for guests to comment on the interview, basically. So it will be pre-recorded, so we're actually recording it tomorrow, and it's just to offer kind of an immediate reaction to the interview that will then go out after the interview, if that makes sense.
Within minutes, the Queen's former press secretary, Dickie Arbiter, the editor of Majesty magazine, Ingrid Seward, royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams, and CNN's Victoria Arbiter all agreed to offer their instant reaction to an interview that hadn't even broadcast.
Bruh, they were willing to put in their own 2 cents in an interview on something they had never seen. They were willing to call in as royal experts for a video or for an episode that was going to air immediately after the interview, and they had not seen one single frame of this interview.
The experts were happy to act as if they'd already seen the interview. Their fees were negotiated and their contract signed.
Now I know what you need to do. You just need to pay people and they'll just do whatever. They'll do whatever.
Had these professional royal experts who influence the public already made up their minds about Harry and Meghan's interview before seeing it? This is what happened.
Crazy, look.
Ingrid Seward is the editor of Majesty magazine.
Have you ever read Majesty magazine?
No, but neither has anyone else, so that's all right.
We're going to be doing a post-match analysis of Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah, which is obviously coming out in a few days' time.
My name is Victoria Arbiter, A-R-B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN.
She straight up spells her name out. She's like, please let everybody know that I'm a D-U-M-B-A-A-A. I can't even spell dumbass. See how much of a dumbass I am? I can't even spell dumbass all right.
Richard Fitzwilliams, royal commentator.
Ingrid Seward, I'm editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine.
You've not seen the interview yet, have you?
No.
No, great. I think we have a fair idea of where the interview's going, and we have a fair idea.
You do, definitely.
Okay, great. Are you ready to go? Brilliant. Okay, let's go.
What was your overall impression of the interview?
I think that this was an extremely hard-hitting interview.
In the interview,
He's not
to
wrong.
my mind, this was an actress giving one of her great performances.
I'm going to tell you this, though. A lot of people already think that, too.
From start to finish, Meghan was acting.
A lot of people think that.
Now that Oprah went rather soft on Harry and Meghan.
I think the interview was really an iron fist in a velvet glove.
She did ask the tough questions. She had to ask the tough questions.
It was not a balanced interview.
But at the same time, I think she did ask those questions in a sympathetic light.
Oprah is a friend and gave them an easy ride.
An easy ride. So, haven't even seen the interview. These guys, they're just making this stuff.
And certainly favouring Harry and Meghan.
She was totally sympathetic, and there is a great deal in it that the palace will find deeply concerning.
Were you surprised in the interview to hear Meghan's comments about Prince William?
To hear her talking about members of the royal family didn't surprise me at all. I think she was very unwise to do it, but she's the kind of woman that, wants her say.
Meghan used extremely strong language to describe her relations with members of the royal household.
So having seen the interview, what do you think it said about Meghan's relationship with the Queen?
I think what it said is Meghan's relationship with the royal household was not very good.
The interview told us that Harry and Meghan both greatly admire the Queen, but not the institution.
Meghan spoke about her love of animals, obviously, in the interview.
Interesting.
Meghan talked about the Balham Donkey Sanctuary. What does that tell us about Meghan's character?
I'm sorry. Wait, what did he say? What the hell did he just say? Let me roll that back one more time.
Institution.
Meghan spoke about her love of animals, obviously, in the interview. Meghan talked about the Balham Donkey Sanctuary. What does that tell us about Meghan's character?
Meghan talked about her love of animals, love of dogs, love of the donkey sanctuary.
In the interview, the nicest thing about Meghan was that she, it's her love of animals.
She does have a love of animals, but that's only one side of her. That's a domestic side.
Yeah.
We've got to look at the broad picture.
Oh my God! So they're having a problem with it. It's about the broad. It's not just domestic animals. Let's not forget. She's just only interested in the domestic animals. It's a broad spectrum.
And the broad picture's not a very pretty one.
If we could speak to the words that Meghan used in the interview to describe Prince William and the brotherly rift. What did you make of that part of the interview?
In describing the brotherly rift, as they did in the interview, you can't help but be incredibly moved, stunned, saddened by all of it.
Meghan Markle.
I'm sorry. She just did a broad stroke. You can't be. You're laughing. You're crying. You're surprised. You're shocked. You're upset. You're thrilled. She just basically did a very broad statement about that one, ain't it?
Markle saying she won't take the vaccine in the interview. What was your reaction to that?
I think it's very selfish. There are people who are anti-vax.
So now that we know what has been said in the interview, do you think this is going to play well or badly for Harry and Meghan?
There wasn't a real need to go into so much detail as to why they were unhappy as members of the royal family.
Brilliant.
That dude is... Why is that dude so intense? There's no reason why.
I think that's everything, really.
So there you have it. 4 leading royal experts willingly commenting on something they know absolutely nothing about.
Nada.
Perhaps when it comes to Harry and Meghan, there's more to the story.
Why was this interview necessary?
Why was this interview necessary? Yeah, I'd like to know too. Brilliant. Those guys are brilliant. Brilliant. I love every minute of this video. But it's proof positive that if you pay somebody a certain amount of money, they'll say anything. They'll say anything. And those four people are royal experts. They have donned the title of royal experts. And these royal experts were brought in. They didn't see any leaked footage. They didn't see the interview beforehand. No, nothing. They're just shooting from the hip. Shooting from the hip. All of that. A lot of those questions that they asked that were covering, that they say was covered in the interview, weren't even covered in the interview. Talking about donkeys. You know what I mean? Donkey. You know what I mean? Man. But see, this is the world that we live in. And when we see mainstream media does the exact same damn thing. A lot of these people, this is why it frustrates me when it comes to mainstream media. There are so many people out there that are willing to say whatever they can to make it sound good so that they can continue securing the bags. Hey, American commentators do this too. Let's be real. They may have seen maybe 1 second, 1 stitch of something. Maybe they saw the trailer, you know what I mean? Like the teaser to the interview. So they're just like, oh, she's definitely acting. The hell? There are a lot of other people out here that believe that she was acting. That all of that was just one big ruse, one big con. Her Oscar-winning performance, her Emmy-winning performance since it's on the small screen. Those are commentators. Royal experts that do stuff for multiple other mainstream media outlets, news outlets and whatnot, that do conversations like this, that probably have not seen 1 stitch, but they're just trying to secure the bags. So they're like, okay, for $300, I just got to come up, or 500 pounds or whatever, how much ever it is. All I got to do is turn on my camera, Zoom with you, and I just get to riff about whatever it may be. Cool. Just make sure that that check is written out to my name. Yes. It's there's a bunch of vowels. There you go. Make sure you get it spelled right. And then we're good to go. Unbelievable, right? Who's to say that other mainstream media outlets aren't doing the same damn thing? If it was just as easy for those 2 men to pull that kind of prank, who's to say that people who are actually not trying to pull a prank are actually just doing this? Just to spread lies. Or to sell a story. Something to think about, guys. Definitely something to think about. It's crazy. What was this? What was this interview for? What was this interview necessary? My word.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.